You're
Saturday.
welcome. How are you doing?
Thank you. And belated happy birthday. How was the birthday
Oh,
yesterday?
it was
I
fantastic.
wasn't expecting to see you here today.
It was fantastic. I felt loved. And
Definitely you
so,
feel. And
yes,
you are loved
I
actually.
thank you
Yes,
very
you're a
much.
lovely
Thank
woman.
you very much. Oh,
Lovely
thank
lady.
you. Now I want to shed
When you are
tears.
talking about women of valor, right? Is that the
Yes,
word?
women of
Yes,
valor.
yes, yes. You are a true definition of it.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very
Yes.
much. I
And
appreciate it.
God
And
continue to shower you with all that your heart
amen.
yearns for. Yes.
Amen. 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 Thank you. And I thank God
We
for
are happy to have you as
colleagues here as well. I mean, you made my day memorable.
Yesterday I missed out on the party.
I
So
told you to come early now.
I won't take
Don't
that
worry.
as a
If you come
mistake. You
early
need
today, I'll sort you.
Okay. So I'm not putting it on record. If I don't get anything from the court, now they call me.
I beg you. I beg. Don't put the blame on me.
I'll go to the court again. Now they are starting for, so I'd rather be.
What time are you likely to close from court today?
Today, in fact, it's going to be a very long,
A very busy day, yes. Because we would have the Democracy Hub protesters,
Also
some of
coming
them,
to the court.
two batches or one batch?
Two.
Two
Two
batches,
of them are
okay.
in court, yeah. The Oliver squad and then the Ralph Williams squad.
Okay.
They are in court today. So much more is likely to happen in relation to that matter. But we'll talk more on it soon.
All right. So first of all, let's start with what happened in court yesterday.
Yes. So yesterday, I did talk to you about the fact that the man who was arrested for allegedly robbing the former second lady, Matilda Amy Sayaba Arthur, was expected in court for the
Yes.
trial to commence. Prosecution yesterday filed an amended charge sheet, withdrew the previous one, and filed a fresh one. In relation to the previous one, 26 counts, largely robbery
Okay.
and then stealing. But the amended one reduced the counts from 26 to 24.
Okay.
Prosecution realized that upon further investigations, some of the vehicles that were retrieved in the custody of the accused person were stolen vehicles. So they rather preferred to charge him for dishonestly receiving. And let me give you details of those vehicles that the prosecution was talking about. The prosecution made a point that per the fact sheet put before the court presided over by Justice Lydia Osema for that. The investigations further discovered that 4 of the vehicles retrieved from accused possession were stolen vehicles. And what are these vehicles? 1, the Land Cruiser Prado, the Lexus RX, the Honda motorcycle, and Tokyo. Tokyo East motorcycle. So these are the 4 vehicles that the prosecution indicated that the accused person were stolen vehicles, so the accused person received them dishonestly. So they have charged him with 20 counts of robbery and 4 counts of dishonestly receiving. Because his plea were taken in relation to the previous charge sheet on robbery yesterday, that maintained, but they took his plea in relation to the 4 count of dishonestly receiving. He's still been remanded, and the court is expected back for case management conference subsequently.
Okay. So that is in relation
to the former second lady's case. So Yahuza Osmanu yesterday was in court, but the trial did not start as indicated. Fresh charges were preferred against him in relation to this whole matter. So that's one of the cases that came up. And the other case, Ashali Buchi, alleged murder.
Yeah. So a bench warrant
Yes.
issued for the arrest of the lady.
Yes, Safina Mohammed, alias Safina Diamond. So yesterday, when the case was called, she was absent. No, she's on bail. So she was absent.
Absconded.
Absolutely. So once that is the term that you use for. Once you do not come to court and you are nowhere to be found, it means that you've absconded. That's what it means largely. So the court, there was no reason as to why she wasn't present in court. The lawyers were also not present in court. It was only prosecution. So the court, Justice Lydia Osemafo, immediately issued a bench warrant for her arrest. The case was adjourned. And immediately the case was adjourned. Apparently the lawyer was also within the premises. His attention was drawn. And his point was that we have it in our diary for tomorrow, which is today. So in their mind, it is 24th that they are coming to court.
So the woman, it's not that she has absconded.
Yeah, absolutely. So clearly, it was
Miscommunication.
absolutely in their diary that led to that. So the council came to the court, notified the court of that particular infraction. The court said, no problem. If you're able to produce the accused person in court, the court will revise that order.
Yeah.
And within
They
2
will-
hours,
they will rescind
yes,
it.
it will rescind the order for arrest. And within 2 hours,
Okay.
the case was called around 9:15, 9:20 thereabout. And around 12:11, Safina had appeared in court. The
Oh,
case was
okay.
recalled. So that bench warrant
Was
eventually
rescinded.
was rescinded. The
Okay.
court made the point that yes, she has been ever present in court all the time.
She's always been
on bail.
present, okay.
Absolutely, she's been on bail. So there's no fear. But the court also made the point that she has to be very careful because there are others who have shown that same character. They've
Okay.
shown that same
Same
moment
pattern.
that yes, they've been coming to court every now and then. They've granted them bail, and one moment
They just
they just abscond. And so the court is not taking anything to chance. Once you are even late for a minute, rest assured that some of these things will come after. So now she's been able to meet, but the court said due to circumstances beyond its control, before this new legal year, they had empaneled the jury. It's a jury trial. They paneled the jury and they were about to pick dates for the trial to commence. The court said circumstances beyond its control, they are unable to start the trial as anticipated. For that matter, in view of that, the jury have been discharged.
wow.
Yes, the jury have been discharged. What it means is that as we speak, if the trial will begin, then you have to empanel
A new jury.
set of juries. That is in relation to this very matter. But of course, on November 13, they'll be back in court and further directives will be taken. So at one point in time, Safina had a bench warrant on her neck, and then a few hours later, that was rescinded. So yesterday, she was in court with some of the family members and all that to come and support her in relation to that. So that's what happened in relation to this very matter. Then Cecilia Dapa's mates, two of them, Sarah Ij and then Patience Butchie, and five.
They're asking for
five
something on the
others,
OSP?
yes. So Patience Butchie is the first accused person, the 18-year-old that we do know in the matter. If you see him in the early days, in the early days when she was arrested,
Yes.
and you think that you meet her in town and they can easily identify her,
You won't be able to do
won't be
so.
able to identify
What
her.
has
She
happened
has
to her?
changed completely. I don't know the situation, but it looked like
Has she lost weight?
not weight aside, but color.
Oh.
She's lost her
So
complexion.
before then she was light skinned.
She's light skin.
Now
Now,
she's
when you
become
see her,
darker.
me cry, me fair.
There's-
I understand that, in prison custody, you do not get the kind of lotions that you use and that's what you were being told. You use more of shea butter more than anything.
okay.
So when you see her, you might think, where is Patient Butchie? Where is Patient? But she might be sitting right in front
right
of
in
you.
front of you.
Unless you have seen her a couple of times,
Okay.
you know that this is her. So that's the changes in relation to that. She
Okay.
was asking for.
What if it's just the conditions of the prisons or the cells just being so bad?
I won't be surprised because
Okay.
the cells they are so. But the female ward is much better than
Where the males
yes,
are.
Yes,
Well,
I've had the opportunity to be closer to the female ward, and it's a very nice place to be. They have much more of
it's a nice
better.
place to be.
Yes, and not that.
I mean,
nice in quotes,
relatively,
they are- compare
relatively
that
it's
to
better
the-
than their
absolutely. It is not
male
s-
counterparts.
Yes, not so choked
Okay.
as that of the men. And ladies, the place is very okay.
Okay.
Yes, in terms of the surrounding and other stuff, it's much better compared
To the guys.
The guys. So
Okay.
yesterday, their lawyers or her lawyers were cross-examining the husband of Madame Sisi Dapa, Mr. Daniel Sekufo.
Yeah.
And at the point in time, they said that, look, for us to prosecute our case, we need some documents, and those documents are with the OSP. And so they made the first step, wrote to the OSP, but the OSP declined to give them audience. They didn't provide those information to them. Then they came to the court and said, look, it is the courts that can compare the OSP, because the OSP, if the OSP want to even do some things, it comes to court, seek court order to be able to do. So we
Yeah.
are coming to court let the OSP furnish out with certain documents. What are these documents? One, interrogation caution statement of Madam Sita Dapa and the husband, charge statements of the couple, interviews the OSP granted of them, transcripts and recordings. So they want all these documents so that they can cross-examine the witnesses who will come. Madam Sita Dapa's husband is in the witness box. She herself, we are told, will also testify so they can prepare and defend themselves as far as this very case is concerned.
Okay.
OSP opposed to the request in court. The lawyers filed an affidavit in support and filed supplementary processes. The OSP wanted to respond to that, but eventually they didn't. So yesterday, when they appeared before Justice Marie Lewis Simmons, Criminal Court 2,
Okay.
they indicated that they do not intend to respond to the supplementary request. And so the court was not seized with the opportunity to make the ruling. And the long and short of that ruling is that the OSP, the motion was partly granted. Part was granted, part was declined. And which one was granted? The court said the OSP to provide or furnish investigation caution statement, charge statement obtained from Madam Sita Dapa and the husband when they were arrested by the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Within 1 week upon service of the court ruling on them. So if the OSP received the ruling today, it means that 7 days from today, they have to. And then the registrar was notified. And then when that happened, a copy will be served on the accused person and her lawyers to be able to. However, the leg involving the transcript, interviews, and recordings, the court declined to grant them that request. So that is what has happened. So the OSP is supposed to do that within a week upon service. So the case has been adjourned to the later part of November when they come. Then the further cross-examination will resume of Madam Sita Dapa's husband, Daniel Oseko, who wasn't present in court yesterday. So that's what happened in relation to that. But lawyer Yaw Danquah is one of the defense lawyers in relation to that. He described the ruling of the court as perfect. So let's go and hear from lawyer Yaw Danquah, one of the defense lawyers in this matter.
It's a perfect ruling. The ruling is a very perfect one and very intellectual one as well. And the judge actually took her time to peruse the law and address every single issue. And as far as I'm concerned, she has given us a precedent when it comes to requesting information from the special prosecutor. We just want information that they have, that they should have disclosed from time immemorial, and they've chosen not to disclose it. Today they've been compelled to disclose that information. As to whether or not we can use it or not, at least we are exercising our right to right of information, and we will cross the bridge when we get there. But it's a very, very good news, and I'm extremely happy. I don't think she has extended it to, she just interpreted what the Supreme Court have already stated. And the Supreme Court have given a definition when it comes to prosecution to extend to any government agency, any institution that has any information which will be is relevant and can be relied upon either to the innocence or the guilt of the accused person, to have access to them. And that's what she has done today.
That is lawyer Yaw Danquah, one of the defense lawyers.
Very satisfied with the court's
ruling,
decision.
Yes, the ruling of the court for the OSP to provide them. And they also, even though they are, his client did not make a request in relation to that, they say that they also need copies to be able to deal with other leg of the case as far as their cross-examinations are concerned. So this case has also been adjourned to the later part of November. Justice Marie Lewis Simmons handled that case. Yes.
And what are we to expect in court today? We are expecting 2 batches?
Yes. 2 sets of Democracy Hub. You notice that 2 days ago, a set of 9, 7 of them have been discharged because prosecution intend not to continue charges with, to continue to prosecute them. Because after investigation, they noticed that for evidence is not, don't have enough evidence to be able to prosecute them. A set of 2, including Oliver Barker, Felicity Seth, are back in court today, and the expectation, or it is likely that some more of the accused person would be discharged. But of course, Oliver will be making the first appearance after being granted bail or after satisfying his bail conditions. So that's one of the cases that will come. And then Ralph Williams squad, there are 10 of them. They are also expected to be in court. So a set of 23 will be in court today, and we'll know more whether prosecution intend to discontinue charges against some of them or all of them. We'll get to know more.
All right. Thank you very much.
And then
is
the
that another
very
one?
last one.
Okay.
The Kasua ritual murder.
Oh,
in
that's
quotes.
case.
That case now that you mentioned. Anytime I talk about this case, emotion starts to come.
Yeah, when you think about how the little boy was killed.
The narration, especially the 15-year-old juvenile gave in open court, you wouldn't find words to describe it. If you are not too strong, I still remember that day, the tears in open court. Virtually everybody in the courtroom had some level of colleagues were, especially you know how the ladies are in relation to some of these things. And so anytime I talk about this case, it takes me back to that particular scene, and I remember a lot of this. So for the 5th time, it was deferred for judgment or for the jury to return their verdict. So what we expect today to happen is that the prosecution and the defense lawyers would give their final addresses or submissions to the jury. They have already filed a written submission, but they'll be given opportunity to highlight what they want the jury to do. After, Justice Lady Osema, who is the Justice of the Court of Appeal, sitting as an additional High Court judge, will sum up the trial for the jury. They will retire, deliberate on the matter all throughout what happened in the course of the trial. Then they'll come out with their verdict as to whether the accused persons are guilty or not guilty. If found guilty, the 15-year-old juvenile will be remitted to the juvenile court for punishment or for sentence. And the maximum, we are told, is 3 years. But the 18-year-old will face the full rigors of the law if found guilty. So that is what we do expect. The family of Ishmael Mensah Abdallah will be hoping that today will be a very last day that they will be coming to court. All that they want is somebody punished for the death of their son.
It's as simple as that.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you very much. Murtala Inusa, he is our legal affairs correspondent, and bringing us the details with regard to what happened in court yesterday and what we are to expect today as well. We mentioned to you that we'd bring you a lecture or excerpts of a lecture that was delivered to mark the 1-year anniversary of the passing of Akoto Ampao, popularly known as Sheshe. And we'll bring that to you in a bit. Of course, I have a few people to celebrate as well, today being their birthdays, a day after mine. But it's a Thursday, and you know that on Thursdays, people like to throw back a lot. I remember when I was growing up, I remember that back in the day, kind of songs were played on Fridays, and then somebody introduced Throwback Thursday, and everything just changed. How did it happen? Please bring back our childhood. La la.